Conservative at that point, trying to milk the clock, and was there something about ball security? Was that what was going on there?
Obviously it was a concern with the weather. I think the rain picked up there in the beginning of the fourth quarter, but we were having a good rhythm running the ball. We were having some success. We didn't want to take the ball out of 9's hand or 4's hand, and then obviously, the ball had been on the ground a couple times. Obviously, we dropped a touchdown when we had a shot there in the end zone. So yes, we were concerned about the weather, but we were having some rhythm running the football. We felt like we were going to put it on the offensive line, put it on the backs, and came up short a couple of times, but overall we had good success running the ball.
What about the passing game tonight? 99 yards, I think you guys ended up with. What were they doing to stop you out there in the passing game?
Well, obviously they were mixing up their coverages pretty good. We felt good about the running game, so we probably led towards that some more. The screen game, we took some shots with the screen game. We tried to go down the field. Obviously, we had the one to Sharon, and then we had the one that we dropped in the going into the end zone. Then in a game like this, when there is a wet ball, you're concerned about your intermediate game, trying to throw the ball across the middle, because you saw a couple of times where the ball goes across the middle, goes through the hands, hits the helmet, popped in the air, and it's a turnover. So yes, obviously we want to protect the ball. Proud of the guys. You look at the situation, we run the turnover margin. I think they had 4, we had 1 when we took a shot in the end zone. So they did a really good job protecting the ball all night. And yes, that was a concern, but we felt good about the running game as well.
It seemed like all the analysts were talking about Clemson or Notre Dame's defense. What did Clemson's offense accomplish after them on a wet track too?
Well, for the last 2 weeks, there's been a lot of talk and speculation, and I'm proud of our guys because they didn't listen, to the noise. Everyone said that our offensive line wasn't going to have a chance to run the ball against the front 7 of Notre Dame, and I think we had 2 guys that were over 90 yards rushing the ball, and Deshaun and Wayne. So very proud of those guys. We knew that they were a great defense and they were going to challenge us. And leaving the hotel, I told the guys, you're going to remember this one forever. Play for each other late on the line, and you watch those guys up front. You watch the backs run, you watch Deshaun run the football, they laid it on the line. And hats off to Notre Dame. They did some things and challenged us and took some of the passing game away from us. But when it counted, we found enough running the game to get enough offense to help us win the game.
How much did the elements mess with things and the way Deshaun played and the way the running backs ran the ball?
I think early on it didn't have as much of a factor because we came out the gate, we were running it, we were throwing it, we put 14 points up really, really quick, and then we had a good drive going on the backed up situation, and then kind of stalled out, and there were a couple drives where we didn't complete the execution in the first half, but just the elements as you got later in the game, you wanted to take that into consideration and make sure that defense was playing well. We had a lead, we didn't want to put them in the situation by just turning over the ball.
What was the biggest key to getting going in the second half?
The biggest key is just challenge him to stay disciplined, not to try to do too much, figure out where the running lanes were, stick with it, stay committed to the running game. It's easy when you don't have success that you want early on to go away from it, but we knew it was going to be a game that was going to be one up front. We knew we were going to have to be committed to the running game, and he did a great job, Deshaun did a great job, and hats off to the offensive line. That's 3 games already this season where we've been right at 200 or over 200 yards rushing, which everyone had questions about those guys who haven't won that way into the season.
Yeah, talk about Deshaun's legs would play a big role in this game. How nice was it from your perspective to see Watson break 3 on the first drive and then the offense be able to start quickly and put it in the end zone early twice?
Oh yeah, that was something that we challenged, and we wanted to come out and start fast and keep the pressure on, and we knew we were going to have to turn Deshaun loose and be calculated when we call the runs, but he was finding the lanes, he looked comfortable running, so we fed him as much as we could, and then when his runs weren't there, we gave it to Wayne and he found some runs.
That was the big call.